Hey guys, how are you today? How are you today? So I'm so excited about talking about this topic. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I want to kind of figure out how to go about doing this and talking about it and kind of giving y'all practical ways to do this because I get this question all the time. And the question is, how do I disclose to my family, mother, father, sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, grandmothers, whoever take care of you? And how do I disclose to my friends? So let's go jump right into this. So my whole thing is I'm going to go into this. Most of us are scared to disclose to our family, number one, because we think they're going to judge us or tell us, I told you so, you shouldn't have did it. And then also we're scared to tell our friends because we think our friends are very judgmental, or quote unquote our friends are very judgmental, and you have heard them crack jokes about young ladies or guys, I'm speaking to the guys too, who have had herpes, and you have heard them crack jokes and all this other things. Or you have had bad situations with your family where they have thrown stuff back into your face. And your friends you have seen, y'all got into an argument. And they're like, oh, well, at least I ain't got blah, 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 or I ain't deal with blah, 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 blah. So a lot of you guys are scared of that, and I completely understand why you are scared to tell your family and why you're scared to tell your friends. Because, truth be told, your family ain't going nowhere. And most of you guys have been friends with a lot of these people for years, and you do not want to stop being friends. So, this is what y'all tend to do. You find out, you find out your results, and you run away from your family. Now you can live I talk to a lot of young ladies and guys who still stay with their family, whatever, for different reasons in college, things of that nature. So, with that being said, it's kind of hard to just find this out and you're like boo-hooing all the time. You got to take this medicine. You've been to the doctor 30, 40 times, and your family like, what is, your mom's like, what is going on with you? Or your grandma's like, what's going on with you? You're crying. You're like, I just, you can't really say what it is. And they're kind of like trying to pry it out of you of what's going on. And you're just scared that they're going to try to make the situation worse. Okay. And so you just start pushing away, not saying anything, staying in your room. You really get into a depressed state because everybody's asking you what's going on, and you're scared to tell them. So it makes the situation worse now because everybody keep asking you over and over on what's going on with you, and they're freaking out as well, and you're like, no, I'm scared to tell because I can't deal with them, judging me or whatever. And then you have your friends, where your friends automatically know something going on with you because they call you, or they're calling, you're not answering, or you're texting and not answer, or just say if you work with them or around them a lot, and they're like, girl, what's wrong with you? And you kind of like, nothing, and all that stuff. Or they calling you in the midst of a crying session or a panic attack or anxiety attack, thinking about it, and you're crying, and they was like, what's going on with you? Like, girl, things just didn't work out with that guy like I thought it was, and he didn't tell me the full truth with some things that was going on. So you're telling parts of the story, but you're not really telling the whole story. But you're boo-hooing, and they're like, girl, what's going on? He's like, I'm just good, I just need a moment, just let me be. I'll call you when I get a chance. And soon enough, it's 3, 4 months down the line, and you ain't talked to your friends in months. Your friends kind of think that you don't deal with them anymore, or they ask you to go out, and you're like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. No, I don't want to do anything. Until a point where you get alienated. You stop talking to your friends, and you stop talking to your family. Kind of difficult to do, but you really just get to a point where you just closed in. And you know exactly what they do? It makes you feel alone that you are. And I mean, it confirms your feelings of how you feel. Number one, the first thing we feel is alone. So the first thing we do is take ourselves away from the people who love us the most, our family and our friends. And we just like, no, get out of here. You cannot be close to me because you're going to make me feel nasty. You're going to make me feel disgusting. You're going to make me feel all these things. And my whole thing is, guys, you have to get over the fear. I'm telling you. Your mom, dad, they love you. Despite anything. They love you, or whoever was your caregiver. They love you. They're going to tell you, I told you all to a certain extent, okay? And you're not going to want to hear it. They may say some things that is not great, okay? But at the end of the day, they're going to love you to the end, and they're going to be there for you, and they're going to protect you. And it's also a time for you to educate them, because I didn't tell my mom, guys. I really didn't. And I'm going to tell y'all why I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my mom because me and my mom was not close. We're closer now, but we wasn't close at the time. And I knew that I wanted to disclose to the world and do what I'm doing now, being an SG life coach. And at that time, my mom was a person who she'll tell you something and she'll make you not want to, she'll discourage you not to want to do anything. Well, I can say that for me. That's how I felt. I value what my mom said a lot. Um, and sometimes it wasn't a good value because it put me into situations where I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't speak up for myself for situations because of what my mom would say to me. So when it was time to disclose this, I didn't tell her when I first found out. I told my friends who were so supportive. They were the first people I ran to. They supported me. They loved on me, and I'm going to tell y'all how I told my friends in a minute. But you said you love the pop up videos. I know, right? They're awesome. So with that being said, guys, so I didn't tell her, and I was like, I'm not telling her. Y'all know I came out in 2015. I think August of 2015 on Instagram, and then I posted on my Facebook. And my mom, friends, like her fiance now, all are on my Facebook. My brother's on my Facebook. So somebody called my mom and told her, and she called me and she was like, "What is this stuff that you're posting on your Facebook page?" I mean, this is the attitude I'm getting through the phone. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I wanted her to say, like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "This herpes thing, this herpes thing." She couldn't barely say the word, and she still won't say the word to this day, and it's so funny to me. But anyway, so I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You didn't consider your family." I said, "What family?" And at this time, guys, I was married. Okay, so I had been married to my husband for a year then. Okay, we had been together, yeah, for 2 years then. Married for one, together for two. So before I even told anybody, I talked to my husband about it and things like that. And he was like, "Babe, go for it, whatever." He still freaked out too because his family didn't know. Anyway, but he defended me 100% from what I know of. Okay, but anyway, so, with that being said, she was just like, "What is this herpes thing? You didn't think about your family." I was like, "Well, first of all, my husband said he had no problem with it. So what about the kids? Are they okay?" And I was like, "They're absolutely fine. Do you take medicine?" I was like, "No." Ugh, I just can't believe why you had to share it. Like, because I want to and I want to help people with it. Help them do what? I mean, literally, I got so upset with her. I was like, "Okay, mom, bye." Absolutely bye. Like, you didn't tell me because I didn't want to, and this is the reason why I didn't want to tell you. And literally, I did not talk to my mom for months after that. Because at the end of the day, I felt like this is the main reason why I didn't tell you because you already don't understand. And another reason I never really seen my mom step out and do something outside of her comfort zone. So I was like, she's not going to understand me stepping out, sharing something personal about me to help other people. So I was like, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm not going to tell you because what I'm about to do, nobody's really doing, especially African American women who's not, they really not doing it. So I'm going to have to do this and not worry about what anybody said. And most importantly, it was my mom. I could not worry about what she said or how she thought or what she thought or any opinions because it would have literally, guys, I probably wouldn't have been here doing what I'm doing now if I had told my mom years before. If I did, it was literally God had to pull me out of the ditch because she'll probably put me in a place where I was just so discouraged to do it. So that's the main reason I didn't tell my mom. But it was just a very funny conversation. But literally, I had a nasty attitude about it. Like, and I'm married. Don't worry about me and my family. Like, we're good over here. But she still literally now, like when I'm doing my sessions and things like that, she literally would like talk loud in the background or something like that, just be rude. Cause y'all know I moved back with my mom after my divorce, and she would just be rude. But now she's taking it more in consideration because I talked to her a little bit more. She was like, "Oh, how many sessions do you have?" And all this stuff like that. And she's like, she'll be in the car and she would try to be all extra quiet, and she try to take the kids for me and things like that. And then like the other day she was like, I think I had a session, she was in the car and she was like, "Oh, do you take medicine?" I said, "Medicine for what?" She's like, "For that thing." No. Literally, guys, that's 2015. It's 2018. And my mama saying that thing, that thing, what? I'm going to tell y'all now. It's going to be your family and friends who are never going to be able to accept it. Okay? They're going to accept you, but the word that they just not going to be able to do. And it's so crazy because at the end of the day, they don't have it. So I don't understand how hard it is to say it. But I tell y'all, herpes have a strong stigma that even shut people up who don't even have it. That people who don't even have it is scared to say the word. Okay? So 2015 to 2018, my mom still it cannot say the word, and I just giggled. I was like, are you serious? This is what I do for a living, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm leaving a legacy for it, and I want to be on TV doing it and writing more books for it. So just accept it. But like I said, she's accepted me. She loves me. She does everything for me and my kids. But she would not accept that part. And it's just crazy. And I want to tell y'all this. Before you even decide to disclose to your family and friends, just know it's going to be hard for them to even grasp what's going on. Because they think about the herpes stigma right off the bat. Especially if they don't know anybody have it, or they don't have it and you just didn't know. But most people have the stigma in their mind. They're thinking that you're promiscuous, that you're out here just doing everything, and that's the reason why you got it. And that's not the truth. As many of you guys, I'm sure y'all can say on here, most of you guys were in relationships. Most of y'all were married. Most of y'all, it was from your child's father or something like that. Y'all was still messing around or something like that, or it was somebody who you have been knowing for years. It never has really been the fact that you're going out having one night stands and voila, this happening. No, it happens, but most of people that I have talked to, and I have talked to thousands of people since 2015, typically are in relationships. From men to women, they've been in relationships. And I have had the women who had the one night stands and things like that, but typically they realized it was probably not from that person, because when they'll get tested and realize it had been there for a while, things like that. But most of the time, most people who are in relationships are married, truth be told. So we want to kill this stigma. So you got to think about number two. I always say number one. So number two, you got to think that our family is going to automatically think of the stigma, because that's the only thing that's out here. If it was just like HIV, where the information was so in our face type thing, then the response would be different. But at the end of the day, that's not the response we're going to get. We're going to get the ooh, oh my god, oh, you really out there. They're going to ask you weird questions. But my whole thing is, this is the time where you cannot allow their questions to get under your skin so bad. And I know I did it, but I'm trying to give y'all forewarned, because at the end of the day, your family loves you. And they're asking questions because, number one, they are as ignorant as we was. Okay, truth be told. They don't know anything as much as we didn't. Most of them don't know it's not including the STD. Most of them don't realize that, you still get it with the condom. Most of them don't realize, cold sores and fever blisters is herpes. So my whole thing, as much as what we didn't know, our families typically don't know. Okay, so we got to understand, when they ask us certain things, it's because they really don't know. And sadly to say, they're kind of pissed, and not even kind of, majorly pissed, that you got to live with something that you can't get rid of. And depending on who you got it from, especially if they felt like, they tried to warn you about this person, or they was like, I told you should have left, and things like that, because I felt like something was going on, that person wasn't right, and things like that. So I just want you guys to understand, and you got to look at your family and your friends and know most of them are ignorant. And you got to accept, ignorant people say ignorant things, and that's hard to feel or hear when you are emotional and you are already feeling bad about yourself, and you're already feeling the stigma on yourself, and you kind of like, it's in your face. And then having a family or friend literally come to you and say the same things, like, oh, were you out there messing with a lot of people? And you got to tell them your story. And I feel like this is a time, it's better to have these conversations with family members or friends, people who really know you. I mean, literally seeing you grow up, seeing your actions, especially your friends. Your mom probably don't know your sex life, depending if y'all close or not. But especially your friends who know you very well, know all your boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. They know everything about you. They're going to tell you, man, I know you, man. Clearly, this, we ain't going to let this get the best of you. Or, if it's your parent or aunt or whatever that you're close to, and you tell them, they're going to tell you, I know what type of person you are. Things happen and things like that. And I feel like that's the great thing about sharing with family and friends, because you get that reassurance. You get that affirmations that you need, and that encouragement that you need, and the love that you need, and the support, everlasting support that you will get, because at the end of the day, they love you and they want the best for you, and they know everything about you already. And my whole thing, a lot of us going to think off the rip that they're judgmental, and I tell you, you will hear your family, your friends say a lot of things about a lot of people, but sometimes I'm telling y'all, most of the time when it come to you, they're going to do something else. Now, if you got that family member who judged everybody, it don't matter. Now, I completely understand why you don't want to share this information. Or if you got that parent or that friend who run their mouth, please do not tell them nothing. Because at the end of the day, if this is not something you want out, best believe they're going to tell it. So my whole thing is all about using really, really good judgment, using really judgment, discernment, Holy Spirit, intuition, whatever you want to call your inner being. It's very much important that you use that when it comes to your family. Don't use your emotions. Use your intuition. I use my intuition not to share that with my mom. I wasn't in my feelings about it. It was my intuition more than anything, because I knew where I was going. I knew what I was going to do and all these things like that. So I did not want any interference. And for you, if you do not want to get this thrown in your face all the time, if you don't want the whole family to know and every freaking girlfriend that you have to know, then it's okay to say, I'm not going to tell that friend. But most importantly, I tell you, if you had that person who you've been friends with all your life, and they know everything about you, why not share it with them? Okay? They love you. I'm telling you, they love you. So I'm going to tell you how I told my friends. So soon as I had my outbreak, I have a friend. She has HIV. I found out she had HIV when I was in college with her. We was roommates. I literally went to test. We took the test together, and we went to go get her results together. And I seen her fall apart in front of me. Okay? So she was the first person I told. Absolutely first person I called. Because I was there for her, so I knew automatically she gonna be there for me. Plus she's a nurse. Okay, so me and her had been through a lot. We had got saved together. We had baptism together. We went to middle school together. Everything together. This was my role, and she knew everything about me. So I was like, no problem. I'm calling her. I called her. I was crying. I was boo-hooing about what was going on, and I told her before I even knew what it was. And I asked her, "Do you think this is what it is?" And I cried and things like that. But when I answered the phone, I was just crying, and she was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I think it's something wrong. I don't know what it is." And she's like, "Tell me what you see." And I told her, I was telling her my symptoms, and she's like, "Okay, give me a second." But she said, "I think it's herpes." I'm like, "No." And I'm boo-hooing over the phone. And at this time, I was at Auburn. And now she was at Georgia State, because we had both went to Tuskegee together, but we had both transferred out. And I was boo-hooing, and she was like, "Babe, I think that's really what it is." But she's like, "Look, go to the doctor and tell me." So I go to the doctor. I on the phone with her the whole time, and the doctor, and she's like, she's just trying to encourage me, but she just really sat there, because it's the exact same thing I did for her. Get to the doctor's office. I was on the phone with her when I went in with the nurse. I took my clothes off. She was on the phone. Literally, the nurse came in the room. I got off the phone. Nurse got out the room. I got back on the phone. Now I'm crying even more. The nurse tell me what it is. I call her again, and I cried even more. And I cried with her all day, all the way back home. And literally after that, and then I shut down for the rest of the weekend. But literally, I'm happy I called her, because I could not do that by myself. I would have had a nervous breakdown, no lie. And a lot of you guys are choosing to stress yourselves out to a max and almost have a nervous breakdown. Why? You have a friend who's calling you every day, checking on you every day. They ain't never live with you, or probably live with you, because y'all just that darn close. She like a sister, or he's like a brother more than anything. And you choose not to tell them something that you know for a fact they'll have your back and support you all the way through. Like I said, you have to use your intuition. But if you have friends that you have, especially that one, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have a group of friends or whatever. I had a group of friends. I didn't tell all of them. I just didn't feel comfortable. I'm just being honest. I did not feel comfortable telling them at all. They don't talk about it, but I didn't feel comfortable telling them it at all. So I told my most closest friends, which was the one I told y'all just about, who's a nurse, and then my other one that I had been friends with for years, since I was 4. And then I told another one that I went to school with in Tuskegee. And they were my closest road dogs. Like, literally, those are my rollies. So I told them, and they all supported me like no other. And honestly, I wasn't scared to tell them, because I trusted them. And my whole thing, a lot of you guys are scared to tell your friends because you do not trust your friends. And I know this might go a little sideways, but why are they your friends if you can't tell them the hardest thing, or one of the scariest things that happened in your life? Why are y'all friends? Some of y'all friends y'all need to get rid of like yesterday. I'm just being honest. The things that I hear is so sad. The things that some of y'all friends have done to y'all is absolutely ridiculous, and just downright dirty. And my whole thing is, if you're just that scared to tell your friend, you need to question the friendship. I'm just saying. You need to question that friendship. Why you can't run to your friend Soon as you get, or even when you had a symptom, you couldn't get on the phone like, girl, I think da 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 da. You gonna tell me that you sat and didn't talk to nobody, and then I'm gonna go to you. You really gotta have some trust issues. I'm gonna put it out there because some of us do have trust issues. You got the best of the friends. They there for you. They love on you. They do everything for you. They prove to you that they don't have your back, and you just don't trust them. I don't trust them. They can screenshot it and show the world. They can show it and da 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 da. Have they shown you that they would ever do that to you? Have they ever did anything to you? And I'm not going to say that people don't do things, but if you have a track record that this person has had your back, been your friend, been there for you and all this stuff, and you still can't tell them, then you just not their friend. I'm being honest. I'm just going to be truthfully honest. Then they're your friend, but you're not their friend. Because if truth be told, if y'all are really friends and y'all trust each other and y'all will literally tell each other everything, if you're not at that point with a lot of people, then they're really not your friend. And I'm sure you're thinking like, well, Belize, you don't tell everybody everything. I understand that. But if you calling somebody your friend, okay, I'm a strong believer in friends. I have had friends for years. Like I said, I had one since I was 4, another one since elementary school, middle school, another one since college, a couple since college, like sophomore year, freshman year. I have die-hard relationships with some people. And I'm sad to say a lot of people don't have what I have, and I'm blessed. And if you have it, if you have what I just said, people you've been friends with all your life and you ain't told them nothing, they ain't really your friend. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They really not your friend. You have enjoyed the companionship, but you really don't trust them, and that's a problem. That you don't been friends with this person all these years, and you do not want to tell them nothing. Okay? And I'm being honest. I have had ladies that I did not trust to tell them, and I had to question myself: are they really my friends? If I cannot tell you everything about me, we really not friends. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. If I can't tell you everything about me, I mean, my hiddens, my all, we really not friends. And then you got your people that you just don't feel comfortable with, okay? And we're going to talk about those. You got your people who like, we're friends, friend associates. We're friend associates. We hang out. We've been knowing each other for years and things like that. It's just some stuff I just choose not to share. That's fine, but know where your friends lie. But if you got that one that been your rollie, why not? I'm telling y'all, it helps so much to have somebody in your corner who know you and can tell you who you are in the midst of having this diagnosis. It's very hard to deal with this when you're looking at yourself in your mirror and you don't know who you are anymore. It's good to sit in front of your friend and literally have somebody pat you on your back or literally sit on the phone with you. My friends wasn't there right away. And sit there and talk to you. Literally, my friends made my life normal again, guys. Literally, especially my friends in college. Well, one of my friends in college, literally, she was like, girl, let's come. I went to homecoming. I did everything. She didn't broadcast. She didn't tell anybody. Well, she's the one who ended up telling the guy. If y'all watch my last video, she's the one who told the guy that I ended up having sex with her best friend at the time, and I didn't disclose to him. And then she told it, and she told her husband who her husband is now, but I didn't really care, because she needed advice. But I didn't trip about it. But at the end of the day, she was my real friend because she cared about him and she cared about me. And she felt like she had to do what was necessary. As much as some people like, well, if she was really your friend, she wouldn't have told your business. But at the end of the day, another friend of hers was on the line. So she did what she had to do. It may hurt one, but she saved another. So my whole thing, that was a friend to me. And I'm so thankful for her. I'm still friends with her to this day. I was in her wedding and everything. So with that being said, guys, you got to really look at who is your friends, who not your friends. And then when it comes to family, I understand. Look, my family ain't the closest, okay? So I understand if your family, you ain't close to your family and things like that. But everybody got that one family member in your family that you're super close with. But if you don't have anybody like me, I wasn't close with anybody, then you don't tell family. Okay? I'm not telling you have to, but the whole thing is it's good to have at least one person who know you, seen you grow up, seen you grow to tell. It's good. It makes things so much easier to move through because they're going to let you know you're fine. I love you. You're going to be great. You're going to get through this. You remember your goals. They're going to reassure, girl, you know you got stuff to do. You can't sit here and mope. You can't do that. You can't do. And they're going to start taking you out. Literally, I was going out and I typically forgot because I was in the club twerking and all that other stuff in college, and I ain't think nothing about it. Nothing. I forgot about it. Truth be told, I forgot about it. I forgot about it. But I want y'all to understand you have to tell someone. So when it comes to telling your family, this is one of the scariest parts. Friends is a little easier because you can say, girl, you remember I was with such and such. You remember that guy I told you about? And I felt like something was going on with him. He gave me herpes. And you be honest. Or you remember that guy that we met when we was going out and we was talking for a little bit and we ended up going home that one night. We had sex. We used protection, but he gave me oral sex and I found out I have herpes from him. Keep it real. Keep it cut and sweet with your friends. You don't really have to do all the warming up to your friends. They already knew about whoever you was messing with anyway. So you just go back to whoever you was messing with and say, girl, you remember that dude? We was in a relationship and I found out he was cheating. Guess what he gave me? You know? Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Uh-oh. Just share that information. Or, like I said, it's always best when you first get them symptoms and stuff to talk with somebody in the beginning. It's kind of hard. It gets harder to kind of say something to your friend when you didn't say anything at all. You didn't tell your friend you was having symptoms. You didn't tell your friend that you were going to the doctor. So now your friend was like, what? Girl, why you didn't tell me? You should have been to. I would have went to the doctor. I would have did this. I would have did that. You know. So now your friends kind of upset with you a little bit because they're like, you should have said something to me, and I've been there for you the whole time. You know. So I tell people it's very, like I said, if you got that person that you trust, start telling them. If you just found out or you think you have it, reach out to your friend and say, look, girl, this is what's going on. I'm scared. I think this is what it is. I need your support through this. I know you probably won't understand and you probably don't know what to say, but I just need somebody to let me know that I'm going to be okay and that I can have a normal life. And I know you love me. I love you. Just support me through this. Okay? These are difficult to do. These is big girls conversations. This is grown man conversation. This is kind of hard, but just take your friendship to another level because I'm sure you have helped some of your friends through some sticky situations. And what did you do? Be there for them and support them as best that you could. Okay, and sometimes talking is not something you need to do. It's just being there, and you have done that, and they'll do the exact same thing for you. So when it comes to your family, now family is a little bit different because family is family. Some people was raised in a family that was healthy, and then some people was raised in a family that was toe up from the floor up. So my whole thing is, you got to talk your family's language. And it may sound crazy, but you have to talk your family language. You can't go in there boo-hooing with some of your family, especially if your family is not emotional type beings. But you got to talk your family language. So whoever that family member that you feel most close to, that you can feel like you can be vulnerable to, great. Okay, I won't say don't go to that aunt, dad, or that mama who just kind of like flip out about everything. I wouldn't suggest you use the person to tell, because that may just make you go into a frenzy. But I would say pick that family member. Most importantly, pick that family member that you love, trust, and you have built a rapport with, and that you're really close to, and you can be vulnerable with because you may bust out into tears and all those things like that. And you're gonna need somebody to comfort you. You don't want to sit there and get drilled at the time of your crying. Okay. So, and I'm just saying it's not going to happen. You may still have that aunt or that uncle who like, okay, so who you were with? And, and my whole thing, these questions are not to crucify you. These questions are not to make you feel less than. These questions are more of, okay, who was this person? What happened? They want to get a gist of what happened to you. Because they feel like if I can do something about it, I'm going to do something about it. And most of the time, they're going to get mad. And, if it's a man or whatever, aunt's like, you want me to go see about him? Because we'll go see about him, type thing. But, when you share this information, you have to tell your whole story. You can't just say, hey, I got herpes. No, you got to say, I was with this guy. This happened. So now they understand what's going on. And when you share the information, now it's like, oh, my God, all that happened to you. And this is what happened to you. And it also kills that stigma. Because at the end of the day, most people think you got to be promiscuous, So you sharing your story is gonna put in their mind, okay, I've been in situations like this. That could have happened to me, And for them to support you based off your story and not support you based off what they think they know. Okay, so find that family member, sit down, and say, look, I have something going on with me, and I really need your support through this. This is really hard, but I'm going to tell you exactly what happened first. And then just explain the story. Go through all the way. I mean, detail. Say, please don't talk. Just let me get it all out. If you got to cry, cool. And then you share with them, like, look, I end up getting herpes from this person, and I don't know what to do. And have your vulnerable moment. And you never know. A lot of people have talked to family members and found that their mom had it, and found that their aunts or their grandmas and all this other stuff. And it just blows your mind to find out a lot of your family members have it and how much support you can get. Or even your friends, they were scared to tell you same way. And I have had so many ladies say that, oh, I was talking to my friend and I was telling her something. She's like, girl, I get those too. Blah, blah, blah. And I've been living with this long. And you're like, why you didn't tell me? You're like, why you didn't tell me? Type thing. So my whole thing is sometimes we're missing the opportunity to have support when we don't open our mouths. And that's from each side. But everybody's so scared thinking somebody gonna judge you. My whole thing is I don't care if you shouldn't care if somebody judge you. They don't know how you got here. They don't know your story. And when people understand the story is more important than the diagnosis, then that says a lot. When you if you guys can hear half of the stories I hear, I'm mad, I'm sad, and I'm like, that is absolutely fucked up on some people's part. Like, oh my God, like, I wish you didn't have to experience that. And your story is not to get any sympathy, but it's for your family to understand that this is how I got here. I didn't get here just for laying in the bed with just one person or a random person. I didn't get here just laying here just with somebody I didn't or somebody I trusted. This is the whole situation. This is how we got here. And people like stories. People connect with stories. I'm a strong believer. People connect with stories. And you never know where somebody was like, well, I was in a situation where it's close to it. I feel like if you tell the story, you got the ability to relate to your family member or relate to your friend. But if you don't tell the story, you just come out and say, I have herpes, everybody's going to freeze. And stigma is running through their mind. But if you tell them the whole story and then share your information, share your status, then it's going to be a different response. Period. It's going to be an absolute different response. Because they know the story now. They don't just hear the stigma. They don't just hear the word. They hear what happened to you. How you got here. And people want to know what happened to you. Okay? I hope they help, guys. I hope they help. I've been trying to get that together for a while now, how to explain that to you guys. Okay? Anybody have any questions or concerns? Questions? I see some questions in here. I get hit on more with herpes than I did before. It's crazy, but I've been abstinent since 2016. All right, now it's crazy. You will realize, but you know why you get hit on more? Because your confidence is out the water. I only told the person I'm dealing with and my cousin, and that's it. I don't want nobody running telling my business. See, that's what everybody fear. My whole thing is, and I'm about to be real with you. Who business have you told? And my whole thing is, that's not even in a bad way. When you are friends with people, and friends are friends with friends, and somebody needs some help, or they don't know how to support, people reach out to people to get assistance. Nobody's running to Google how to help you. People are running to people to figure out how to help you. Truth be told. So my whole thing is, you can't be so concerned with if somebody gonna tell people. If they gonna tell your business, they gonna tell your business. I don't care if they say, "Girl, she would da 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 da." But that's why
it came back on, guys. It came back on. It's back on. It's back on. It's back on. Okay, my app shut off for a second, but and one number the devil. Okay, but okay. But my whole thing, like I was saying, guys, is that you don't want anybody to run their mouth about stuff, but that's why your discernment got to come in. If you are worried about somebody running their mouth about you, clearly, those are the people you cannot have in your life. Friends are friends, and I'm not gonna lie. When you friends with a lot of people, just say if you're in a group of two or three, everybody talk about everybody in the group. And it's not even in a bad way. It's more like, girl, you know what happened to her. What do you say? I don't know what to say. And it's not in I say if you're in a group of friends of three or four or more, you need to tell everybody at the same time. Don't tell nobody separately because one gonna go like, girl, did you hear what happened to such and such? I don't even know what to do for her. And it's not talking about you. It's more of a, I don't know what to do. This is our friend. How can we support our friend? You know? But if you keep worrying about somebody talking about you, I'm sorry. You not gonna say anything. And it's gonna be hard for you to even disclose because you scared if that dude's gonna go tell anybody. You can't worry about that. My whole thing is that's why you do it and you share it with people that you trust. You said you told your cousin. At the end of the day, you trusted your cousin. That's the only reason. If you didn't think your cousin would, if you thought your cousin was gonna tell people, you wouldn't have told your cousin. So, if the truth be told, you got to use the same discernment you use your cousin with everybody else that you choose to tell. Can you share how and why you share on Facebook and Instagram? Facebook and Instagram is where everybody's looking for information on herpes and on herpes for herpes. So I decided I'm going to post it on my social media because at that time I was an It Works distributor and I had a very huge following. And I had a lot of people on my Facebook and my Instagram, so I decided to share something personal about myself on there, and it was on a Sunday, as a matter of fact. So that's the reason why I shared. But the main reason I shared is because I wanted to reach people on social media. That was how I was going to build my platform. That's how y'all see I'm on YouTube. So that's how I want to build my platform. A lot of you guys found me on here. You guys find me on Facebook. Find me on Instagram. So I was like, I want to go where people are looking for the information, and that is social media. That's the internet. So I was like, I'm gonna share this and hashtag it, and somebody's gonna find me, and that's how I'm going to serve the herpes community. My family seems to understand. I just hope it doesn't get thrown in my face when they get mad. The thing about it is you don't know what people are going to say. And if they decide they want to throw it in your face, that's the time that you chomp them the hell off. I'm just saying the truth. Because at the end of the day, your diagnosis had nothing to do with whatever decision or whatever conversation they're having or argument you're having. So my whole thing is you got to get so confident in your skin. And yes, it's going to hurt, but that's the time they get chomped all the way off. Because I would tell them what I got ain't got nothing to do with you. And if you got a problem with it, you ain't me anyway. So why are you worrying about that in the first place? That's just times that you got to put your family back into place. I told a few family and friends. I have two friends that have herpes in my corner. I'm dating someone new, and I took your advice and told him right away. It brought us closer. Yay! I'm excited about that. I haven't been to the hospital to check because I'm scared, but I have it based on the visual. Sometimes I feel branded. Y'all know what I mean. My whole thing, babe, you have to go get tested. You have to go get tested. And don't just go based off what you see. You'll be so shocked that herpes don't look like everybody's. Everybody on here can pretty much tell you something else. This is the best time while it is still there to go get tested. Because if you just found out that you have herpes and they don't swab you early enough, you're not going to know if you have it or not because it takes about uh I'll say almost 14 weeks, 12 to 14 weeks to show up on the blood test. So you need to run to the hospital right now and let them swab it while it's still, open and all that stuff like that. Because if they don't get a good swab and they can't really break the skin enough to even get you get a good culture, you're not going to know if you have herpes or not. It will come out negative and it'll be a false negative because they couldn't find enough, they couldn't get enough of the cells to test it. So please, I understand the fear, but we're all here. You found us. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. I feel branded. You're not branded. It's a mind thing. My whole thing is you're living in a stigma. You can't worry about that stigma. If you keep worrying, that's the reason why you're here. Overcome the stigma. You got to get over the stigma and stop worrying about what people say. Like I said, you got to stick to your story and how you got here. You can't worry about what the stigma say because the stigma is not everybody. We can't live within that because they don't fall with none of us, truth be told. So with that being said, you can't live and be branded on something that you don't even live up to that brand. Okay? Do I have to get checked? Yes, you do. It's absolutely mandatory. And take medication. What happens if I don't? You don't have to take medication. Absolutely not. You don't have to. But when you go in there, if you're having an outbreak right now, I would strongly suggest you take that a Cyclovir or Valtrex or whatever they give you for them 10 days because it makes a heck of a difference to help you get the medicine in your system and move forward. Because most people outbreaks last the longest for the first one. So that medicine, get into your system and help you start to heal a little bit faster with that first outbreak. But you don't have to take it after that. I always tell people to take it the first time because I did take it. I didn't feel like it did anything, but it did get me through the process and make me feel better that I was taking something, okay? How do your colleagues and co-workers respond? How did your ex-husband family respond? My colleagues, nobody says anything to me. My co-workers, most of them are not on my social media, truth be told. The only people who was on my social media is people that I already shared my status with. So I'm very as y'all can see now, people ask me, what do you do for a living? I'm an SC life coach. And they said, for who? For women with herpes. I would literally talk about it in the grocery store. I would talk about it in the doctor's office. I would talk about it in the street. I would talk about it at the gas station. I give out cards if I see people, all that stuff. So I get the question all the time, and I tell them I found out, and I tell them my story as well, and they be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that!" But it's great work. But no, I'm sure people talk about me behind my back, but do I care? Absolutely not, because you're doing it behind my back. And truth be told, I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for you guys. My whole point of doing this, it was to support you guys, not support people who don't have it. Truth be told, I'm not thinking about them. They're not a concern of mine. How did your ex-husband family? Oh my God, his family's judgmental as hell. Okay, so truth be told, his sister was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it," and she came to me talking about, "Oh, why did you choose to want to do that?" Because she's nosy and she's messy. But I had to put her in her place. But I didn't care about her talking about it. At the end of the day, I was with him and he accepted me. Um, but they knew I was a firecracker, so they knew they better say something behind my back because I was the one who would go off on everybody. So they had seen my attitude. So, but I'm probably sure he was probably embarrassed. I don't know what he said or what he did, but he always like when we decided we was gonna get when I decided I was gonna divorce him, he was like, "Well, I had so much backlash." Well, you could have said something about it, but at the end of the day, he knew he couldn't tell me what to do. He just didn't understand that. First of all, he was a person who did not. He heard what I said, but he didn't listen to what I said. Okay, didn't listen at all. And he didn't understand the scrutiny that comes behind it. So truth be told, he kind of started backing up. He supported me, but he didn't say much about it because he had to defend me all the time. And he was like, "Well, your wife is posting such and such." And he was like, "Well, ask her about it. That's her business. You ask her." And things like that. If you want to know more information about it, you ask her. He always sent them to me, and I had no problem with saying what I need to say, but nobody would say anything to me. Truth be told, the doctor said it was in my bloodstream when I found out. Okay, so you had to have it for a while. When you first get herpes, it don't show up in your bloodstream for a minute. So if it was in your bloodstream, you had herpes for a long time, and that's why they said they prefer visual testing because they know right away when you have it. That means, okay, you recently just got it. But if in the blood, they cannot determine when you have it. Just know you don't had it for a couple of months because it's just been for 12 to 16 weeks. It'll let you know if it's in your system. So with that being said, they know for a couple of months that it's been in your system, but they can't pinpoint when you got it. Okay. Hey, you're new here. I love your message. Yay! Hi, love. How are you? Well, guys, I have answered everybody's question or read everybody's question, but or comment. But I want you guys to know that I hope this helped. Number one, I hope this helped. Um, and I want you guys to really evaluate the people in your circle. This is the best time to evaluate who is your friend and who is not your friend. What type of family members you got in your family, because a lot of you guys come to learn, and you will learn while having this gnosis who you can trust and who you can't trust. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of y'all gonna get burned in this process. Okay? You gonna think you can trust somebody, and I understand the fear. I have talked to too many ladies who have been outed. But they survived. Truth be told, they survived it. Was it easy? Heck no. But they survived it. And they're dating. And they're living life and they got children. You know? But one thing you have to understand, you got to figure out who's in your circle. Because until something crazy happens, you don't know who in your circle. You don't. Right now you may think, well, I can tell my such and such, and then like a young lady say, they get mad and throw it in your face. But that's the thing that you have to put people in their place about. When people are mad, everybody tries to say stuff to hurt people. But this is the time you have to really get out of your feelings for a second and really use your intuition to know who you can trust and who you can't trust with your personal information. And some of you guys are going to learn that none of y'all, that you don't have any friends at all. Some of y'all going to learn that you cannot trust your family at all. It's a hard thing to learn, but you're going to have to learn it. And sometimes it takes something drastic happening in your life for you to learn it. When all things are all good, everybody good. But when something hit the fan, that's when you learn who your friends. And I'm sure y'all all have been there, lost jobs, in a relationships, and realized nobody was there for you. That is not the person to talk to, and they shouldn't be even in your corner anymore. Okay? Period. Truth be told. I'm good in yourself. I'm amazing, love. I'm amazing. So this is a time, even if you haven't told anybody or, still scared, I need you to evaluate your circle and your family. It's time to evaluate. Evaluate. I mean, the whole relationship. Get in the end. Y'all argue about certain stuff. How they talk about people. How they feel about people. How they talked about this topic. All of that. And I'm not telling y'all to go and test the waters with people. Don't do that. Do not go to your family or your friends saying, how would you feel if you knew somebody with herpes, and hear what they got to say. Your feelings going to be hurt. Because first of all, the person that you're quote unquote talking about, they don't know. Okay? But when they talk about you, you are different. You have built a rapport, your family, your friend, they care about you, they trust you, they love you. So what they say about that person, which they don't know, is not what they're going to say about you, because they have a rapport with you. So my whole thing, don't be testing that water. A lot of y'all feelings going to be hurt trying to test the water, trying to figure out what would they say if I told them this. Stop doing that. You don't know what they're going to say. The only way you will know is opening your mouth and telling them your situation for you to find out. Okay? But my whole thing, this fear thing is gonna keep y'all stuck. This fear thing gonna keep y'all stuck, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. This fear thing gonna keep y'all stuck. You can't be so scared all the time. Not to do what's necessary for you. What's necessary is to accept this. To necessary is to live your normal life. What's necessary is going to the doctor and finding out if you really got it. I'm trying to tell you. Because I'm saying this for a lot of people, because I get the inboxes, I get the emails, I get the calls on people saying, I think I have it, but scared to go to the doctor. But you're still going to act like you still have this, okay? So why not know for sure so I can truly help you? Because I cannot help you if you don't know your testing. I don't know. What can I do for you? I need you to go get tested. And y'all will hear me say, go get tested and then we can talk. Go get tested and then we can talk. It ain't much I can say to you until you know for sure. Because no point of me talking to you like you're gonna live with it and you're not gonna live with it. And I've had ladies like that think they have it, find out they don't have it. And they be like, I have done all that talking with them and they did all that scaring stuff and scared themselves to pieces and found out I didn't even have it. So my whole thing is I prefer to talk to people only who have herpes, really. Because at the end of the day, and I mean, I'm not saying you can't talk to me if you're in a relationship with somebody who have it, things like that. But it's easier for me to assist you if you already have it or know for a fact that you have it. In that in between, all I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to truth be told, go get tested. And if you come to me and ask me, symptoms, things like that, I'm not a doctor, and a doctor even going to tell you to go to the doctor. Funny thing, but they're going to tell you to go to the doctor too, because testing is most important. You got to get tested. You have to get tested, because a lot of you guys can confuse herpes with genital warts. Truth be told, a lot of people do it, or you got both. Okay, so it's very important to get tested to find out for sure what it is. And get tested as soon as you see it. Don't wait days and days and then go in there and then they're like, oh, you're negative, but then next month you got the same outbreak. It's because you haven't. You went in late. You got to go in soon as that stuff pops up, and you got to go when the symptoms are very, very at its high peak. If you go when it's starting to heal, it's no point in you going to the doctor, because the chances of it showing up positive is lower now because it's healing. They want to see it when it first comes to the best, to the top. I mean, when it's first happening. Your friend that has HIV that you told, did she feel like you were dramatic? Absolutely not. This is still such a stigma with HIV. I'm wondering if she would want to trade spaces because she was there for you. Absolutely not. My friend does what I do. She don't want to trade spaces. She ended up getting HIV from her boyfriend. Um, she wasn't dramatic. I wasn't dramatic with her. We're not dramatic people, so I can't say that. That's not the type of people we are, and my friends don't think of me in that way. Especially when I'm in a state of need. And for you to say that, if your friends are telling you that, they're not really your friends. I'm talking about, okay, let's understand where, you just extra. But when you in a dire need, it ain't no dramatic. It ain't no extra. It's I need help, and however I express it is how I express it. But like I said, it is a stigma for HIV, whatever. But y'all gotta understand the stigma for HIV is starting to dwindle. I can go and I can talk about HIV all day, and everybody would. It's just not the same. It's not the same because we're educated with HIV. We're not educated with herpes. Like I said, I can't say if she want to trade places, but I feel like she has what she has to help as many women she's supposed to help. So I don't believe in trading places. I don't see the point of changing anything. She is where she is because God is using her for a gift. But yeah, she was the best. What's the best way to get in contact with you? Okay. No, she wasn't emotional. She wasn't emotional at all either. My friend is not a cry. She cries, but her crying wouldn't have helped me. I was boo-hooing. Her being emotional wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have helped at all. I would have cried harder. No lie. Yeah. No, she didn't cry. She was just quiet. Now, what she did when I got off the phone probably was a different situation. Um, but even when she told me, I didn't cry because I knew I could not cry in front of her when she was in a state of shock and she was a state of she was falling apart within. So I feel like, this is, you have your friends who do cry and all this stuff like that. It's just because they're emotional, they're self, they're just their being, that's how they are, or they're just completely hurt and they're hurt that you're hurting. But all my friends, typically when I'm going through something, we hold each other down in our moment and we let that person have that moment, and then we may cry after, a little minute, but we allow them to get it all out and know that we're being strong for them in that moment. Okay. Um, what's the best way to get in contact with you? So, my whole thing, if you got a basic question, email me. Okay, no problem, at overcomingthestigma@gmail.com. If you want to have a phone session with me, that's the overcoming sections for an hour over the phone. If you're international, no biggie, guys. Look, international people, you can call me. Like, literally, we will FaceTime. We will video chat. Facebook wise, or we would get on Zoom. Not a problem. It ain't no way, no how. I have talked to people across the globe. So just don't make that a concern. Or if you do WhatsApp app, we can do a WhatsApp app. We will make it work. Okay, so if you're international, no problem. You can do the overcoming session with me, and we will get our time situated, and we will download whatever we need to download so we can talk. If you got quick questions like 20 minutes or whatever, you can also do a phone session with me. Couples, you can do a phone session with me. But all that information will be below when this is over. So you can contact me and we go from there. Go from there. So, but I agree. Yeah, the HIV is more accepted than herpes, but it's because of lack of information. It's not because HIV is better or worse, and I don't like to say that because it's no better or worse. At the end of the day, it's still traumatic for whoever has it, and it's still hard to live with whoever have either or. Okay, but HIV is more accepted because the community is dog hard on supporting it. The community, people who are in the HIV community go hard for finding cures, finding vaccines, getting the information out, getting people tested. We don't do any of that, and that's the reason why they're accepted and we're not. Truth be told, that's the reason. When we start getting out here, promoting how to get the information, what these outbreaks look like, doing marches and going to the Congress and fighting for a vaccine as hard as HIV fought for that vaccine, and that vaccine is a damn cure. Okay, it is. Like, truth be told, like, if you're with somebody who got HIV and they're taking their medicine for like over a year or so, and you end up getting on the prep, you will not get it. You won't get it even if you don't even take the prep. If your person had been on their medicine for over a year and they're doing good, you will not get the virus. It's crazy, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, that medicine is cured. They just ain't trying to tell nobody that. But anyway, and I heard that from my friend. She got HIV, okay? And she's married. Truth be told, I'm telling y'all, she married. Her husband do not have it at all. Period. They've been together for forever. Over 5 years. Okay? Listen to me when I tell you. So, all right, loves. I love y'all. I hope this helped in so many ways. Y'all know where to find me if you need me. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Love y'all. Bye bye. Uh oh.